It is time! I am starting a new crochet project, so I'm going to bring you along on the journey. If you don't know me, my name is Rajan, aka Not Half Bad Crochet, and I post a bunch of crochet related stuff on this channel, from vlogs to day in the lives, tutorials, yarn hauls, project videos, whatever this kind of video is. I don't know. If you like crocheting, if you like hearing me yap, you're probably going to enjoy my videos. So, you know, you may as well subscribe, you may as well like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of this video. But into the actual project. So, Christmas presents have been done, okay? It's like, what, mid-December now? I've finished. I have no more Christmas presents left to do. And I don't know about anyone else, but whenever I'm doing a lot of Christmas gift crocheting or crocheting Christmas gifts for other people, I am very much like, I get all of the ideas, you know. I'm like seeing inspiration everywhere. I have so many ideas for the yarn that I have that I want to make into something. I'm seeing so many awesome stitches. I'm seeing so many cool patterns. There's so many, you know, real life items that I'm like, oh, I really want to recreate that in crochet. And it always happens whenever I'm crocheting something for somebody else and there's like a deadline to it. So I'm very, very excited to finally start this project because this has been on my mind for like 2 months. So I'm basically going to be crocheting myself a raglan cardigan, and I will be doing a pattern for this, so hopefully by the time this video is out I have a pattern too, so maybe check the description because the pattern link may be there, who knows, hopefully. So this is the yarn that I will be using. It is the Drops alpaca yarn. It's in this beautiful kind of maroon shade. It is color 5565. I don't have anything in this color. My school uniform used to be a maroon sweater, like a maroon jumper, so I kind of actually avoided maroon for a very long time, and I kind of got some clothes with a splash of maroon in it, and I was like, I look good in maroon. And I was like, all my life I have been avoiding this colour because it reminds me of my school uniform, which, you know, school wasn't a very fun time for me. So now I'm finally embracing maroon, and I think it looks so nice, and I think it's going to suit me so well. So this is the yarn. I've ordered it a bajillion years ago. I think I have maybe about 700 grams of it. It is 100% alpaca yarn, and if you saw my Christmas gift present making vlog, which I will link in the description because you should watch it, I did work with a alpaca and wool blend, which was the first time I've ever worked with alpaca, and then I saw this and was like, oh my god, I could get full 100% alpaca, so I got it. I saw this stitch and I was like, I think this is going to be just delicious in the cardigan that I want to make. So I did a little swatch. Here is what it looks like. It looks super cute. It's kind of like 3D. It's got a real nice amount of stretch to it. I think it's going to block really nicely as well. It's quite hard to kind of show you with the dark yarn, but it's kind of 3D. It's so nice, so easy as well. Such a simple stitch, like it's a 1 row repeat stitch, so it's really, really easy to work up. I am using a fine yarn. This is I think I'm using a 3mm hook, but it looks so good. So I have done my kind of test swatch in this yarn. Thank God that the idea that I had for this yarn has actually kind of like worked out, because I would have been really upset. I've been like thinking about starting this project so many times, and I've had to physically actively stop myself because I've had Christmas gifts to crochet, and I'm like, I can't start another project. But yes, that is the plan, that is the agenda. It's going to be a top-down raglan cardigan, and like I mentioned, if you like the pattern, it will be in the description. Fingers crossed. Also, if you like this top that I'm wearing, it's the heart lacy top that I have a free tutorial for on my page. If you scroll down a few videos, it's really, really cute, and this just goes to show that you can wear it in the winter as well, because it is obviously lace, you know. I'm just wearing it over like a striped long sleeve top. And so yeah, that is the plan, that is the POA. I'm not really sure what kind of fit I want to go for with this cardigan. I think I'll decide once I actually start, but all I know is I want like a nice high necked one with like a kind of rounded collar, so I think the raglan will be perfect for it. High neck, it's gonna be, you know, obviously have buttons all the way down, so it's going to be relatively, I don't know if I want it long or if I want it cropped. I will be blocking this yarn, so I'm thinking of, well, whatever I do, I'm going to be making it a little bit smaller so it can kind of block out nicely and fit me nicely. But I'm unsure if I want it to be kind of like, you know, normal length, or if I want it to be cropped, and I'm unsure if I want it to be fitted or if I want it to be loose. So those are the things that I'm kind of umming and ahhing about in terms of the fit. But I'm sure I'll just see how I feel along the way. Okay, I am back. I did make a start. This is the start. Can you see? Focus. There you go. So this is the start. It is very tight. Obviously, like I said, I'm blocking it, okay? So everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. This is mainly aimed at me because blocking things scares me. And I'm not used to kind of like making things smaller than they need to be in order for me to block them. Do you know what I mean? But yes, so this is the beginning. Very much the beginning. I need to really remind myself, I'm gonna be blocking it because yeah, I'm just not used to blocking things. So this, I'm like, well, I've made it really small, so it's not gonna fit me, but I'm blocking it. It's okay. Kind of secretly, because my birthday is early January, I was kind of secretly hoping that I would be able to get it done in time for my birthday. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. But you can use whatever yarn you want for this. I recommend, like this yarn is beautiful, it's working out really nicely, but I would recommend like a DK, maximum an Aran. Like don't go any thicker than an Aran weight yarn, just because you have some front post stitches involved, and I think using a chunky yarn on front post stitches isn't my personal favourite. Like, I wouldn't recommend it. If you like that kind of vibe and you want it to be really chunky and kind of plush and 3D, then go for it. But I would recommend a DK or an Aran. But yeah, this is the progress, which is kind of pathetic when I hold it up like this. This just looks silly. I'm excited. Now I've actually seen, because when I first did, like, so the swatch, right? The swatch is lovely, beautiful, amazing, could do no wrong. But then when I did like the first couple of rows, I was like, not sure about this. But now I've done, no, so when I did like the first row, I was like, not sure. But now I've done like 3-4 rows, I'm like, yeah, we're on track. We're on track, bitch. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue working on this and see how it goes. So I've been working on this for maybe about 4 or 5 days. I've gotten quite far in, considering I'm using a very fine yarn, and I realized I fucked up. So basically I was increasing in only 2 places, and I meant to increase into 4 places. Yeah, so I have to start from scratch, which is really annoying because, like, look how many rows I did, and this is a fine ass yarn. I've already used 150-gram skein, because basically how I realized is that I was putting it over my shoulders, and I was kind of just checking, because I was like, I'm nowhere near ready to kind of split off to do my sleeves, but I was like, let me just see. So obviously this is the part that's going to go around my neck, so it's going to be, obviously remember I'm blocking it, so it will stretch out, so it will be quite high necked and quite kind of fitted, and like a round neck. And so then I was like, okay, well this then will become the like the buttons, you know, the row that goes. And I was kind of like, okay, well, if this part is the part that goes over my shoulders, where's the part that, like, at the front, where's the part that goes over my shoulders at the back? And then I was like, wait and I realized I have done it wrong. So I'm going to have to frog this, unfortunately. But I mean, this was a good test run, I guess. Like, I'm just kind of trying to see the positive in it. This was a good test run. I know I like the stitch. I know I like the way the drape is with this yarn. I love the yarn in this stitch, you know. So let's just say this was just an extra large practice swatch. That's the only way I can spin this into a good way. But it's fine. It's ultimately fine. I'm glad I realised now, rather than, like, you know, however far down the line, because it's one of those things where I've made so many raglans. I haven't made a raglan in a while though, and then I've never made a raglan cardigan, even though the kind of the process and the you know, the concept is the same. So it felt a little bit weird, the fact I wasn't working in the round, because obviously it's a raglan. But I just kind of, because when I was crocheting, I was like, this does feel a bit strange. But then I was just putting it down to the fact that I haven't done a raglan cardigan before, I haven't done a raglan in a while, and I'm kind of doing everything a little bit tighter because I'll be blocking it. So that's kind of where my thought process was, I guess. I think I'm trying to just justify how I messed up so badly. But it's fine. I'm not gonna be too hard on myself because, you know, mistakes happen. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody. If you know what song I'm singing, you know what song I'm singing. I'm also unsure how well this frogs because it's mohair. It's not mohair, it's alpaca, and I've never, oh, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, crisis averted. I'm gonna go frog this now and start from scratch. My tea! It feels so weird to be filming like in this location. So I got a tripod for Christmas as one of my gifts, and I'm okay, new location unlocked, but it does feel very strange to be filming at this angle. So now I'm directly in front of my window, but before I used to just prop up my camera just like on my chest of drawers, which is here, but this is, I feel like this is better. But here's a little update on my cardigan now that I've actually, you know, done it correctly. So yeah, it's going really well. Here is the kind of front part. Now I've actually fixed it, but it looks really cute. The stitch is beautiful. It looks so nice, and it's really nice and stretchy in like both directions as well. It kind of almost looks like a bit of like the waffly, like the waffle stitch like texture almost, but this is adorable. I think it's going really well. I'm really pleased. I've used up one skein, and I'm probably close to being at the point that I was before, because I think when I realized my mistake, I had used probably like a skein and a third. So I think I've used like a skein and like a 10th, because I've only just attached this ball of yarn. But yeah, it's going really well. Okay, I have a little update. So it is currently the 2nd of January 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. It is probably going to be like a significant amount of time after New Year when I end up posting this video, because I've got a significantly large cardigan to make. But I have had a great Christmas. I haven't actually crocheted that much over the like festive period, just because I've been so busy. Like I went to Prague in the beginning of December, then I went to see my mum for Christmas, and then it was actually Christmas, and I spent some time with my partner's parents and his family, and then me and my partner did our own Christmas, and then we spent New Year's with my friends, and it's just been very busy, you know. I've intermittently crocheted, but I definitely haven't crocheted as much as I usually do. But I think I've kind of made a pretty good amount of progress. I am obsessed with how this stitch is turning out. I think it looks just so good in this colorway. It looks so good. It's really reminding me of like the waffle stitch, but not as kind of like 3D, because there is definitely some texture there, and I adore the amount of stretch that this cardigan has. So I think anyone who wants to make this like a fitted cardigan, you're going to absolutely be able to achieve that. I don't think I want that kind of fit from this. I think I want it ever so slightly looser, but you will absolutely be able to make like a fitted kind of tight stretchy sort of cardigan. So I'm really excited to kind of get this pattern out, and I have been debating between doing a written pattern or like a video tutorial pattern for it, because I do think that the way this cardigan is formed is like lends itself better to like a video tutorial. There is an aeroplane. Let's just, please take your time. Do you think a video tutorial would be really good for this, especially kind of showing the stitch as well, and kind of how to do the increases, blah blah blah. So who knows? what the outcome will be. It may be a video tutorial, it may be a written pattern, it may be both, who knows. But yeah, I think that's kind of like just what's going on in my brain at the moment. It's going really well. I think honestly as well, like I'm probably very close to splitting off for sleeve island really soon. So this is kind of like what it looks like. Obviously at the moment it doesn't look like it is ready for sleeve island, but remember this has a lot of stretch to it and I will be blocking it, so it has a lot of stretch both ways, which I love. And so I'm basically at sleeve island, aren't I? Find as well with raglans, like I always end up splitting off for sleeves a little bit later than I would have liked, because I assume I'm not at sleeve island yet, and I feel like sleeve island really kind of like creeps up at you. And when I say sleeve island, when you're making a raglan, obviously you're doing it from the top down and you have to separate to do your sleeves, which I will show you how to do in the tutorial or the pattern, whichever I decide to do. But you have to split off to do your sleeves, and I feel like sometimes I end up doing like a drop sleeve, which I don't necessarily always want, and I don't want that with this cardigan. So I think I'm like halfway through a row because I've just finished a skein, so I think I'll finish this row and then I'll split off to do my sleeves. But yeah, it's looking really good, it's looking so cute, and I think this kind of like high neck situation is just gonna be so nice. Oh, it's so good, so good. Woo! Okay, I have officially started on my sleeves and I've been working on the body. It looks so good, it looks so good. I think I want to do like a little try on, but it's going really, really well. I've just finished my third skein. I've used 150 grams of yarn so far, and I think size wise it seems to be pretty good. Oh, it's just dirt. So it looks really good. I'm really, really pleased. So here it is. It looks really nice. I have decided to do a video tutorial for this just because I think the way the pattern is, it just lends itself better to doing a video tutorial. And as well, I find that like, obviously if you're more of a visual learner and you want patterns and you want to buy patterns, like you can't really buy a pattern for a video tutorial, or I don't really see it very often. So what I'm thinking for kind of the structure of it is that I provide a PDF with kind of information about the pattern, materials you'll need, any kind of things to note, that sort of thing, and then I'll have a link to a private YouTube video so that then you can watch the tutorial. So the whole tutorial will be on a video, but it will be a private video that you will only be able to get if you purchase the pattern, which I think makes the most sense, because I very much started crocheting off of YouTube videos, and sometimes I would want to get a pattern but it was only a written pattern and not any kind of visual aid for any patterns that I really wanted. So I think this is going to be good for all of my visual learners. So if you've always wanted to buy a pattern from somebody but they've always been written patterns, I think this is going to be a really good option for you. And it might be something that I do a little bit more in the future, because I know there are a lot of people who can kind of only learn visually, which is fair enough because I very much was one of those people. But yeah, it's going really well. I love it. I love it so much, and it feels like good on my underarms because I always feel like I make the underarm bit a little bit too low. I think where I stopped to start the sleeve is actually perfect for the fit that I want, and obviously I will be blocking it so it will kind of sit a little bit lower. Not that it's particularly tight now, but it will just be a tiny bit lower, which will be good. But yeah, I'm really loving this. It's going so well, and I think it looks so nice in this stitch. I'm really, really impressed. Yeah, it's going good. Okay, another update. I kind of went ham last night, you know. Yesterday, after like my last update, I just carried on crocheting and I got quite a bit of it done, considering obviously my rows are now quite long. When I also try this on, it sits just underneath my bust. So I don't think I have particularly far to go. That is stretched, obviously, because, you know, my boobs are here. But I don't think I'll be going too much longer. So this is my waist. I'm wearing quite a baggy jumper today. This is the Zip It sweater for anyone interested. It has a 3/4 zip and you can make it into a roll neck as well if you do the zip up. I've talked about it many times, many times. And if you want the pattern, I will link it in the description. But where was I going with this? I don't know. Yes. Oh, where I want it to sit. So obviously I'm blocking it. So this is my waist, and I think I kind of want it to sit like just on my hips, but with the ribbing or kind of the border that I plan on doing. I was a little bit kind of, not concerned, but I was a bit like, I don't know, I haven't really kind of checked on the amount of yarn I have left, but I'm doing good. I think I've used, I want to say 4 skeins, so that's 200 grams, and I got I think 15 skeins, so I've got plenty to go to kind of finish the whole thing, obviously do the sleeves and do any kind of like ribbing or finishing parts for the buttonholes. But it's looking so good. I really wish that you guys could feel this, because it's just so like, you know when a yarn and a stitch just works up really nice and like squishy, I'm like, this is like squishy, it's soft, it's cozy, it's like thick but it's not thick, if that makes sense. Like it's textured obviously, but it's like plush. I really love this, and I think that's maybe why I kind of went a bit ham with it yesterday, because now that I've been able to put it on my body, I'm like, I'm excited. I'm excited to put this in my wardrobe. I'm excited to put this in my body. I'm excited to put this with kind of like clothes that I already have, and to like, you know, make outfits out of it essentially. So yeah, it's going so good. And today I'm just gonna work on this. I'm having a very chill day today. It's like 1 o'clock already, so I'm gonna have some lunch, I'm gonna start on this, and yeah, that's just what my day is gonna be. So yeah. Okay, another little try on in some terrible lighting because it's dark outside. I have used only just one 50-gram skein. I've kind of been intermittently crocheting today because I just wanted to like lie down and watch a movie, so I haven't been crocheting as much as I did yesterday. But yeah, so another 50-gram skein I've used up, and in terms of where it's kind of sitting, I'd say it's probably like just past my bust. This is probably not the most mathematical way of me kind of guessing like how it's gonna block, but I basically just like stretch it into place. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but it works for me. So I feel like it's sitting about here, which is good, which is fine. It's kind of where I expected it to be, but it's looking really nice. It's looking so nice. Like as well, size wise, obviously once I block it, it kind of fits really nicely around my bust, and I think I may give it a go wearing it without blocking it, because I think it will be really nice as like quite a tight fitted, almost like skinny cardigan, and then when I block it, it will kind of loosen up a little bit and be a bit more like flowy, you know. So I might try it once it's finished, but I'll see how I feel. But it's going really good. It's going so well. I am loving how it's looking, and now I've kind of reached just like, you know, I'm working back and forth. This stitch is so lovely and repetitive, but like it's different. So it's like little clusters of stitches that are repeated, but the clusters are like engaging and interesting enough for me to not get bored of them, but it's repetitive enough for me to like really kind of, you know when you get like a rhythm to your crochet, that's kind of what it feels like. So yeah, it's going really well. I'm really excited to continue. I may carry on for this evening, because I think it's like, what's the time, like 8:30, something like that. Yeah, about 8 o'clock, 10 past 8. So I think I might just carry on a little bit tonight. I've had dinner and stuff, so yeah, maybe a little bit more tonight, but nothing too crazy. And then tomorrow I'm kind of busy, so I'll probably get in a few hours of crocheting tomorrow. But in terms of like where I've separated for the sleeves as well, I think it's going to be a really nice fit. I'm so excited, it's going so well. I'm very nearly finished with the body. It's going so good. I feel like this would make a really cute vest as well, like without any sleeves, because I feel like it does that kind of perfect thing that you need a vest to do, where it kind of scoops into your arm rather than kind of sitting off your arm basically, or off your shoulder basically. But it's looking really nice. I've got just like this much yarn to finish before I finish the body, so not a lot, and then I can move on to the sleeves, and it's looking so good. I'm so excited to finish this and to get it done, because I'm just so excited to like have this in my wardrobe. I feel like I'm gonna wear it all the time. Today is actually my birthday. It's my 33rd birthday today, and I will not be doing anything. I don't want to do anything, okay? I feel like if you're a late January, if you're a late December or an early January birthday person, you probably know like how difficult it is to kind of like organize stuff to do, and also like you're probably not really in the mood to do stuff. All my friends are kind of across the country, you know, so I usually celebrate with friends like in a couple of months time, like February, March time, and then on the day I'll just kind of have a really nice chillax day, and then I'll go for dinner somewhere nice with my partner, and that's what I want to do. That's genuinely what I want to do. Maybe it's because I'm older, I'm 33, but I just want to do what I want to do, which is ultimately nothing, you know. It's just doing my fun little crafts, my fun little hobbies, and that's it. You may think I'm boring, but that's what I want to do. But yeah, so I will be working on this today. If anybody wants to get me a birthday gift, a belated birthday gift, by the time this video comes out, you can buy the pattern for this. that's such a great gift because you get something and I get something. Yeah, I digress. But yeah, I'm also on my period today, so it's not the best, you know, circumstances for my birthday, but it's fine. It's one of those things where I'm taking my being on my period as like a divine thing rather than like a bad sign, you know. I don't think it's a bad thing. But yeah, I'm a little bit tired, more tired than I would like to be on my birthday, but that's fine. I'm not doing anything, so it works out great. But yeah, it's going so good, so good. I also don't really know what to name this. I obviously realise by the time this video comes out it will be named, because I love a pun, so I'm thinking something to do with like waffles, you know, because it kind of looks a little bit like the waffle stitch but isn't the waffle stitch. I'm not sure, you will all find out very soon, but yeah, it's going so good. I actually can't remember what my last update was, but it's going fucking good, let's just say that. It is going so well. So I finished the kind of body of the piece. I've still got the ribbing to do, but I need to like wait until my partner wasn't working so I can record the tutorial part of the bottom ribbing, which is fine because I just moved over to the sleeve number 1. We are on track. But I do really like the kind of fit of the sleeve. As I have mentioned for the 1000th millionth time, I am blocking it, but I do really like the idea of having like quite a nice tightly fitted sleeve that goes kind of narrower as I go down. So I've been doing some decreases and I really love the fit of this. So obviously when I block it, it will kind of stretch out a little bit, but I do really like it like this, and I think it's really comfortable. It's going so good. I think even like as a short sleeve cardigan, this could be really cute. Like as a short sleeve, this is really nice. So I'm obviously not doing short sleeves and I will be going all the way down. So this was one skein of yarn, 150 gram skein, but like I mentioned, I am decreasing as I'm going down. So yeah, I'm not really sure how much more yarn it's going to take. Usually for sleeves I use around 100 grams of yarn, so I reckon probably a bit more, even though I'm decreasing. It'll probably be a bit more than 100, but that's fine because I have the yarn available. But it's looking so good. It looks so good. I'm really pleased, really impressed, really pleased. Cannot wait for this to be done. And I think just with like the ribbing added to the kind of center with the buttons and then the bottom bit and then the sleeve all done, oh my god, the ribbing is gonna just like tie it all together. It's gonna look so good, so good. I'm really excited. Okay, another little try on. As you can see, I have just passed the elbows on one sleeve and it's going so good. I'm so glad that I decided to go with like a more fitted sleeve, because even though I am blocking it, obviously it's going to stretch out a little bit just to kind of like loosen the fibre, but I don't want it to change the sizing of it too much, because I did and do want like a nice fitted kind of cardigan which is ever so slightly like looser around my bust. So I think sizing wise I'm actually doing a really good job. So here's a little close-up of what the sleeve looks like. It's looking so nice. This is as far as I've got left, so probably I reckon like the rest of my skein. So this is how much I've got left. I know you can't really see because it's a center pull, but I don't have a huge amount left of this skein, and I reckon that will probably finish the sleeve and then I'll do the sleeve ribbing. But I was working on some of the tutorial for this cardigan a little bit earlier and I think it's going really well. And the way I've done it is that I've showed you how to do the stitch for like 2 or 3 rows so that you're confident and comfortable enough to do the stitch kind of on your own after the tutorial basically. But yeah, it's going really good. I'm really pleased with how the tutorial is coming along. Also, the only bits that I need to kind of finish filming for the tutorial is going to be the ribbing for the bottom and then the sleeve and the sleeve ribbing, and then it will be the buttonholes like the ribbing for the buttonholes. I do also need to decide what buttons I want to use. I do have a little collection of buttons. If you've seen any of my other videos where I deal with buttons, I am a slut for buttons. I love buttons. I basically grew up with my mum collecting buttons in this like old pickle jar that she had, and when I was younger I used to like really enjoy like tipping it all out and organizing them all, and I had like my favorite kind of buttons. And so when she learned that I was crocheting, she let me kind of raid her pickle jar full of buttons. And so I have some from my mum, and then my partner found me a bunch in like a random car boot sale. So I have a lot of really awesome like very vintage buttons. I don't know if I have enough for this cardigan, so I may have to purchase some, but I'm hoping that I have some because I want them obviously to be quite small. And I think the small buttons that I have, I think I have like green, black, and then like a khaki color. I think I do have a gold like set of buttons, but they've got a purple, they're like purple on the dark purple on the inside, then gold on the outside. So I'll have to have a proper look to see what buttons I have, but I'm happy to buy buttons if needed. I don't think that that's a problem, but it's going so good. And I think especially, yeah, especially with the buttons and then obviously blocked, this is gonna be so nice. I'm so excited. I'm also like halfway through watching Wicked. I feel like you can see it in the screen, in the TV next to me. I have actually become really obsessed with it, as many people have. I am very much not an anti-theatre girly, but I think I've like just grown up around a lot of theatre kids, and theatre kids can be very annoying. Sorry if you are one of them / were one of them, but theatre kids can be very annoying. And I think what I've realised, because I was kind of trying to figure out with my partner, because I was like, I fucking love Wicked. I've seen it on stage twice before the film even came out. I've watched the film, I think this is like the 3rd time I've watched the movie, and I was like, why am I so obsessed with it? But I really hate it when like, I hated Glee, you know. I hate it when people like randomly burst into song on TV and films. I hate like that there's this rise of movies that are all about songs, like the Joker 2 when they were all randomly, anyway. And I was trying to figure out with my partner like, what is it that I dislike, but why is it that I love musicals and I love watching like theatre productions? Basically boiled down to the fact that they have to be good singers. They also have to have good songs. I think those are the 2 key things. And I actually have to care about the storyline. Like with the Joker 2, all respect to Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix, I just don't think they have the best singing voices. I also hated the fucking songs. I didn't like the storyline, so watching it was like torture. But Wicked has great songs. The people are brilliant at singing, and I love the storyline. So I think that's kind of why I disliked Glee so much, because I hated the storyline and I also found it really cringe. Anyway, complete tangent to say, cardigan is going well. I'm watching Wicked, so that's it. Sleeve number 1 is officially done. I'm just starting the ribbing. I think lengthwise, after I've kind of blocked it, the ribbing is actually gonna kind of sit pretty perfectly at the end of my wrist. So this is what it looks like. I just can't be able to adjust my tripods. This is going to be the best angle that you're going to get. And I finally finished watching Wicked. I forget just how long it is, which I'm not complaining because I fucking love it, but I literally still have like tears in my eyes from Defying Gravity, because that song makes me cry every goddamn time. I literally am in tears throughout basically the entire movie, but whatever. I am just going to work on the ribbing now. I was hoping to record some of the tutorial. I'm hoping that the lighting in my office is okay because it's getting dark. It's not dark yet, but it's getting dark. So I might just like pause on the ribbing so that I can film the tutorial part for the second sleeve, because I haven't filmed the tutorial yet for the sleeves. So yeah, so I'm thinking pause on the ribbing, I'll film the tutorial on just how to get started for the sleeves, and then like before it gets dark, and then I can carry on with the ribbing, and then that way I can carry on with the sleeve, because I'm almost definitely going to finish the ribbing tonight and I need to film the tutorial for the sleeve. I can't continue obviously with the project because everything else that I need to finish, I need to film a tutorial part for it. That's just kind of what I'm thinking, but I love the sleeve. I love that it's fitted. I obviously am gonna do the ribbing to kind of make sure it fits the end of my wrist. I think it looks so nice in this kind of like textured stitch. It fits me like a glove, okay? I don't think I've ever gotten a fit this good on a crochet cardigan before, but I'm really impressed. I don't think I've had a single hiccup. Actually, I did right at the beginning where I did it completely wrong, but we're not going to talk about that. Since I've officially started, I've not had a single hiccup. Look at me. Look at me. Okay, sleeve number 1 is officially done. I am unsure if I like it. So I obviously went quite fitted, which is what I wanted, but I don't know how I feel about it. I think I might want it ever so slightly looser. I have started my second sleeve and I've basically kind of stopped decreasing. So I think with this sleeve, where I stopped decreasing was probably around like here, and the ribbing just feels a little bit pathetic. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously for me, the ribbing is meant to kind of tighten up that area and kind of cinch up that area. It just looks a bit strange. I also think I want to make the ribbing a little bit longer as well. I don't think I like the ribbing being this short. Yeah, I'm not particularly keen on the very fitted sleeve. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, rather than frogging this if I'm not 100% sure, I'm gonna basically do this sleeve, and I've finished decreasing, so this it's going to be this kind of width all the way down. I'll do some longer ribbing because I only think I did like seven chains maybe, and obviously it's a really fine yarn, so I think I might do like maybe like 10 to 12 chains for the ribbing once I kind of reach the end, and then I'll just see which one I prefer. But this isn't bad, and obviously I need to remind myself I'm blocking it, so it is going to loosen up a little bit. I don't think it's going to loosen up a huge amount, especially with the kind of ribbing at the end. You know when you're just like not vibing with it 100%. My alarm is about to go off because I'm cooking some eggs. I'm boiling some eggs, so if you hear a beeping, that's what it is. And my eggs are done. So but yeah, so that's my little update. Oh, my hair as well, I dyed my hair. So I just used some of my blue hair dye, and then I mixed it with some pink, and I got Blink, otherwise known as purple, and I think it looks really cute, and I think it will fade really nicely. Anyway, my eggs are done. I'm just gonna continue with this sleeve, see how I feel about the kind of the difference of the sleeve in terms of the decreases, and then it's just the bottom ribbing and the buttonholes to do. So we're very close. Are you having fun? Okay, here is a little update on my cardigan. Also, FYI, if you hear like clanging or clattering, my rabbit is in the room and he loves going underneath the bed. It's like a little obstacle course for him. So that scratching, that's my rabbit. But here's a little update on the cardigan. Hi Bubs. I really much prefer this sleeve that I'm doing. I think it's not hugely noticeable in kind of how it looks, but it just feels a lot more comfortable. Like you can kind of see it's a little bit looser and baggier at this point, and I think it was around this point that I actually stopped decreasing, but here it was more about up to here that I've stopped decreasing. So yeah, so I think I prefer the fit of this sleeve a lot more, which is fine. I kind of presumed that that would be the case. So I haven't got a huge amount left. This is the second skein, so it'll be like 100 grams obviously, depending on how much I use for this, but I don't think I'll need too much more than 100, maybe a little bit more for the ribbing, but obviously where I'm blocking it, it'll probably sit maybe about here, so it might be a good sorry, so distracting. 100 grams might be enough yarn, but we shall see. If not, I have plenty of yarn to spare, so I'm not too worried about how much yarn I've got. But generally the cardigan is looking so nice, but I do need to decide on what buttons I'm going to use. So I'm going to show you what buttons I have in mind, and then I'll hopefully decide. Here are my bags of buttons. I definitely think I want to have a small button, because what I'm hoping is to, obviously I'm going to have ribbing, and it's going to be quite skinny ribbing, like quite narrow. It's not going to be super wide or anything, so it's going to be nice slim ribbing, and I'm hoping to do kind of like quite a few buttons. So one right at the top, and then like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I reckon I'll need about 8 buttons, because most of these buttons are either second hand or they're from my mum, so they're, I mean, still second hand or like classed as vintage. I don't know if I'm gonna have 8 buttons of each style, so I may have to buy some buttons, which is fine. Okay, so it's not particularly good news, but I have chosen some buttons. I don't have enough buttons to be able to do the cardigan, except for in one style, so I don't have that many small buttons, and the small buttons I do have, I don't have a lot of them. There's maybe like 3 of them, and I kind of, like I said, want a lot more. So this was the first one, kind of like a dark khaki green. They've got this like spirally sort of shape in kind of like crystals on them. and I just don't think they look right with the cardigan. Like, they look cute, I just don't think the colour is right. The second ones I have are these kind of dark green ones, and they have this like really beautiful kind of faceted design on them. It's like a swirly kind of pattern. Really, really love these, but the dark green with the maroon I don't think is going to work. I then have these ones, which I really like, but I just don't have enough of them. I've only got I think five of them. These black ones, which are quite small, and they have like another little faceted pattern on it, and they kind of look sparkly, but I think black is maybe a little bit too harsh against the darkness of the cardigan, so I don't think those are it either. These are the ones that I'm like maybe, but I'm not particularly stoked on them. So because I'm not particularly stoked, it's unlikely I'm going to use it, but I'll see kind of how I feel when I get to like the ribbing part, which won't be for a little while yet. But these ones I have enough of, but they're these really lovely dark gold ones, and they have like a purple, like a dark purple center to it, and they look really, really nice. And I love the gold as well. I think that looks really, really good with the cardigan. I'm not convinced with the purple, you know, it's the purple and the red together. Not that I think it doesn't go, I just think I want something maybe a little bit more like cohesive, you know, so either like a brown or a maroon or a red or something like that. I did have these ones which are brown, but they I don't have enough of them, and I also think they're a little bit too big. This size is actually kind of like the purple and gold ones is kind of the perfect size of what I'm after. That's a little bit of a shame, but it's fine because then I can go button shopping because I love buttons. And although I don't have a use for these ones yet, so all of those were actually my mum's ones, so they're all kind of like classed as vintage, I guess. But yeah, I don't have a use for them right now. I'm sure I will in the future, but yeah. Are you doing okay there? Okay, yeah, he's just running around. But yeah, that's my little update of the cardigan. It's going really, really well, and the tutorial is also going really, really well, I think, as well. So if you do end up getting the tutorial, what I've basically done is that I have shown you how to do the stitch and how to do kind of the shoulder part and the increases and stuff on a different yarn. And I think what is the best bet, because obviously this is a really fine yarn, it's also really dark, it's quite fuzzy kind of when you look at it close up. So what I've done is obviously show you how to do the stitch with a different coloured yarn. It's a lot brighter, it's a lot easier to see, and then I think I'm going to show you, so when it comes to like the ribbing and stuff like that, obviously I kind of need to show you on the garment, but what I'm going to do is show you where to do it and like how to, you know, proceed on your actual garment, but then show you actually crocheting it on the swatch with the different coloured yarn. I think that makes the most sense, because as much as I obviously want to show you on the actual garment, it's also harder for me to show you because it's such a thin yarn. I have to kind of get into like a slightly awkward position to be able to show you. So yeah, I think that works out best. But the tutorial is also going really, really good, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really loving it so far. Sleeve number 2 is finished. This is technically sleeve number 2 because I have frogged sleeve number 1. So if it seems confusing, that's what's happened. But sleeve number 2 has turned out perfect. So I basically made the adjustments that I last mentioned. I think I stopped decreasing probably like around here this time, whereas last time it was like all the way down here. I think from my calculations, I decreased for an additional like 4 rows on this sleeve first, which is obviously what made it considerably tighter. But this is still very much like fitted, it's just not tight, and it feels a lot more comfortable on the sleeve. I also changed up the ribbing and just made it a little bit longer. I think before I did like 7 chains, this time I did 10, and I just think it looks a lot better. Obviously it's a tiny bit short because, say it with me now, I'm blocking it. So the length of it is, yeah, obviously looks a bit weird. I do have, not an issue, but there is a slight kind of bump here on the back, like when I kind of put my arm down from where I started to decrease, but with blocking it will help, and it will just kind of loosen that part up a little bit, just to kind of like, you know, loosen the fibre and stuff. But overall it's going really, really good. Obviously, as you can see, I did frog sleeve number 1, and I have now started to, you know, continue as normal. So yeah, I've still got quite a bit of a way to go for sleeve number 1, but yeah, it's looking really, really good. I'm so pleased with how it's turning out, and great news, probably not the best time to show you because the lighting in here is quite terrible at the moment because it is dark outside. It's only like 4:30, but I got some really cute buttons. Let me actually just show you in the packet. Hello. focus, come on. So these are the buttons. They're these tiny little like red hearts. They're slightly dark as well, and they're kind of crystally, and they're really, really small, which is what I wanted, and something that I was kind of like struggling to find was like a really small dainty button, because I think I mentioned, did I even mention this? Yes, I think I mentioned that I wanted like multiple buttons, probably about 8 of them, and so I bought 2 packs of these. There was 5 in a pack, and I got them from Hobbycraft, and yeah, I'm really excited. I think they're gonna look really, really good. Yeah, it was just like a little extra pop of fun and a little touch of whimsy. I just think it will kind of make the cardigan feel a lot more me. But yeah, I just feel sometimes like round neck cardigans, and especially like high neck cardigans, can look a little bit plain, I guess, and I feel like those buttons are going to really like jazz it up and just make them feel a little bit more me, which is obviously what I want. But yeah, update, going good. I'm a little bit like speechless because I've just finished both sleeves. This is kind of how it's looking. I don't think I've crocheted something that I've loved this much, and like I don't want to say complimentary, but like it just looks so good on me. Like, I'm not even saying that to be arrogant or cocky or whatever, but I'm like, this, I could have bought this. Do you know what I mean? That's where I think I'm going with this. I could have bought this from a shop and I would be like, this cardigan fits me really well. I am so impressed with myself. I am so pleased with how it's coming along. I'm like so proud of myself that my crochet skills have kind of gotten to this point where I love everything that I make. Like I haven't had a project where it's kind of gone wrong or I don't like the fit or whatever, and it's like I know my body so well, I know crochet so well, and I've become quite skilled in crochet that I'm so confident in the things that I make that everything I make now I'm just fucking obsessed with. Like this, I don't even, it sounds so almost silly, do you know what I mean, because I'm just talking about crochet, I'm talking about clothes, but I think especially if you are like a plus size person or maybe you've like got some body confidence issues and stuff like that, like which I do and have had, and it's kind of gotten, it's taken me a really, really long time to kind of find this place of confidence in my body. And I think, like I said, any plus size person can agree, or to be honest, anyone can agree, especially in this kind of society that we live in where everyone is super fat phobic, and especially around this time of year where it's like diet culture is really kind of like coming back at full force. Anyway, where am I going with this? But I'm just, yeah, I don't know, I'm really proud of myself and I'm really happy and I feel quite emotional. But yeah, I'm just really proud of myself and I'm really pleased with the things that I'm able to make and the way that they make me feel when I put them on my body. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to potentially get a bit teary, but yeah, this is the update. This is the update. I'm gonna stop talking now. This is the update. It's going really good. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm very, very happy with how it's going. And yeah, it's going good. Okay, I'm normal again. I'm normal. I don't know what happened. I got so emotional yesterday. I honestly, yeah, I don't know why. I think like, I don't know, seeing this cardigan kind of on my body and the way it felt and the way it fit me, I was like, wow, I made this. And like, it fits me so beautifully. I love the way my body looks in it. And I just, you know, got really emotional for whatever reason. I still feel it's a bit weird. Don't judge me for it, obviously, ideally, but yeah, I just think it's a beautiful thing what we do. I kind of, when you actually really deep it, like crochet, knitting, fiber arts, even like sewing, hand making clothes or hand making anything is actually just such a, it's such a beautiful thing. Like, you're literally taking string, you are, you know, dedicating so much time and work and effort and love into creating something. And I think especially with the rise of popularity of fiber arts, knitting, crochet, all the rest of it, like, it's so easy to kind of fall into like the consumerism trap of it, especially, you know, you see people on TikTok and Instagram who are banging out all of these things. They're like, oh, this is what I crocheted in a week, this is what I crocheted as a beginner, and blah blah blah. And it's like, it's so easy to kind of fall into that trap of like, I'm not good enough, or I need to improve my skills, or like, I haven't crocheted enough things in a certain time period. And it's like, can we just scale it back and realize that like, we are making things out of string. Firstly, we are taking a ball of yarn and turning it into something functional, you know, whether it's clothes or amigurumi or homeware, whatever the fuck you make. And it's like, let's just appreciate the craft and the art and the artistry behind the craft. And I think that kind of can get lost a little bit. So I don't know, it just really hit me yesterday, and I just got really emotional about it, because especially, like I mentioned, being a plus size person, it's been such a long time since I felt like myself in my clothes. And I think, like, I thought I knew what my style was when I was in like my early 20s, and then my weight just kind of kept increasing, my body just kept it changing, and it just got to the point where I couldn't find clothes that suited what I wanted. It wasn't in the color palettes I wanted, it wasn't in the fits that I wanted. Then I was kind of, you know, going through some body confidence issues at the same time. And I think I worked so hard to feel comfortable in my skin and in my body, and I do truly love my body the way it is now. It's one of those things, when you hear plus size people say that they genuinely love their body, I think a lot of straight size people or fat phobic people are like, how? But it's taken so much work and so much, like, you know, mental fucking gymnastics for me to get to this place mentally. And also, yeah, I do love my body. I'm probably the strongest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm actually the healthiest I've ever been in my entire life, like physically, although people look at me and assume that that's not the case. And like, yeah, I don't know, I just kind of had this like revelation of like, wow, I really feel like myself again. Like, yeah, today I'm in like, you know, a fucking baggy sweater and some leggings, but like the clothes that I am curating for myself and the outfits that I'm putting together, I'm feeling myself again. I'm feeling confident, and I feel like my style, if you want to call it that, reflects how I feel now, because I'm able to make my own clothes and get them to fit me in the way that I have always wanted my clothes to fit me, and the way that I've always wanted those clothes to look on my body. And if you follow me on TikTok, or you found me here from TikTok, you know that I pretty much nearly every day, or like very regularly, post a little like crochet outfit of the day, because I do wear my crochet garments pretty much every single day. Like, there's obviously today I'm not, but like, you know, I can't crochet every single thing in my wardrobe, but if I could, I would. But I wear my crochet stuff on the regular, like multiple times a week, regularly. And I don't know if there are that many people who genuinely do. And I think a lot of people have to kind of really make the effort to wear their crochet garments, particularly if you're plus size. Yeah, I think that's also why I kind of share my crochet outfits of the day, because I just want to show people how easy it is to integrate a crochet garment into your wardrobe, your existing wardrobe, and how kind of like nonchalantly, that word, you can do it. So, and especially for my fellow plus size people, because I think a lot of the time, obviously, there's this real big exclusion of plus size people in the fiber arts, and then when plus size people do make their fiber arts, whether it's knit or crochet or whatever, they then feel they can't wear it, or they don't want to wear it, or they don't have enough confidence to wear it. So that's another reason why I am regularly sharing my crochet outfits of the day, to be like, if you are a fat bitch like me, you can A, crochet yourself the clothes, you can B, make it fit however the fuck you want, and C, you can look fucking cool doing it, you know. Anyway, that was a really long tangent, and I feel less emotional today. I don't know what was in the water yesterday, but yeah, it just really, I don't know, I just felt like I got really choked up and whatever. Anyway, yesterday evening I crocheted a lot. I had a tea yesterday, and if you know me, you know that I am very easily affected by caffeine. I had a Thai tea yesterday morning, which was delicious, and I was up until like 2 AM. So if you want to know how sensitive I am to caffeine, that is how sensitive. I literally had a singular tea at like 10 AM yesterday morning up until 2 AM. So yeah, this is the progress. I've just been doing the bottom ribbing, and I reckon I'm probably about halfway, maybe about halfway. So where's it start? Where's the top? I started here, and then I'm about here. I've got this much left to do, so probably, yeah, maybe about just over halfway. But it just got to the point where I was like, if I carry on, I'm going to like injure my wrists, you know, so I had to stop and go and watch some ASMR in bed. I've recently been getting into, it's really random, but you know, people who camp like in the wilderness, not in like a Bear Grylls survival kind of way, but almost yes, in the same sense. But they're doing like an ASMR version of it where they'll be like in a snowy field, or like, you know, in the snow, or it's like raining. They're usually like in Canada, and I've been really enjoying watching those before I go to bed because it's just so relaxing, and like, you know, hearing the nature sounds, the outdoor sounds, like people cooking, the crackling of the fire, that kind of thing. Anyway, not the point at all, but it's going really, really well. I'm gonna hopefully finish the bottom ribbing today, and then the only parts of the tutorial I need to finish filming is the buttonholes. Everything else is filmed. I just need to kind of edit everything and slot everything into kind of the right place. But the tutorial is also going really, really well. I'm really pleased with how it's coming along, and I think I've done the tutorial in a way that is going to be really, really good for beginners. So if you're thinking about purchasing this pattern, just a heads up, I would consider it beginner friendly. I think as long as you know your basic stitches, single crochet, double crochet, I show you how to do the rest. So yeah, as long as you're like a visual learner, I think you're gonna get on really, really well with this pattern. But it's going really well. I have been chatting for like 10 minutes now, so I'm going to continue. And I don't think I'm gonna do another try on until I do like the final reveal. And then obviously I need to block it, and then we will have to wait for it to dry. And then I can sew on the buttons, weave in the ends, and then it's finished. I finished the cardigan. It is officially finished. Well, the crocheting part is officially finished. I finished up my collar ribbing yesterday. It's turned out so, so good. So here is kind of what it looks like currently. I am obviously blocking it, as I have mentioned a bajillion times. And the kind of adjustments that I want to make is that I just want to lengthen out my sleeves a little bit. They are a tiny bit short, so they don't need to lengthen out too much, maybe like, I'd say 2 inches roughly. And then the width of the sleeves is fine, but I'm probably going to stretch those out just the tiniest bit, just to kind of relax and loosen those fibers a bit. I want to obviously target my ribbing because it's, you know, freaking out a little bit. Also, don't look at my skin. My skin is reacting to a new product, which just ignore that. So I want to just relax the ribbing a little bit and just make it lie flat so it's a little bit more comfortable. I want to kind of just stretch it out a tiny bit widthways, just so it fits more comfortably when I do up my buttons. And then lengthwise, I just want to stretch it out a tiny bit, just so it sits kind of more on / slightly past my hips rather than above / on my hips. So yeah, so these are the adjustments that I'm gonna make. I am gonna keep my stitch markers on here just so I can identify where my buttonholes are, because where my buttons are so tiny, my buttonholes are literally so small. They're like one chain, you know, so they're really small, and it was quite hard for me to like visually see where my buttonholes were. So this will just make my life a little bit easier when it comes to like sewing on the buttons once it's blocked. So I haven't woven in the ends. I am going to do that after it's blocked and like dry and stuff. And obviously I haven't sewn on the buttons because, again, I will do that after it's blocked and dried. So this is the before. This will be the last time you see this cardigan like this. Here is a look at the back. Super cute. I'm really, really pleased. I absolutely love how it's turned out, and I think a block is just going to be like the cherry on top to what is already a pretty amazing piece. Okay, we are blocking. Hope it goes well. Bye bye. See you in a few days when you are dry. The cardigan is officially finished, and I am truly obsessed with how it has turned out. It is literally fresh off of the blocking mats, and I wove in all the ends yesterday and sewed on all my buttons. And the buttons just add such a great touch of fun to the cardigan. So the blocking went really, really well. My sleeves are the perfect length. The actual length of the cardigan sits basically on my hips, which is exactly what I wanted. And then the width of the cardigan is a lot more comfortable for when I want to do it up as well. And I think it looks so, so nice. I love that I can wear it like done up at the top and then have it open. I think that's really cute. I can do it with all the buttons done up. I can wear it fully undone, and it just looks so good. I'm so pleased with how it's turned out. And in terms of how much yarn I use, I had just under 2 skeins left, so just under 100 grams left, which is pretty unheard of for me because I think I got 750 grams in total, and usually for me a wearable is anything between like 700 to 850 grams of yarn depending on the type of fit that I'm going for. The fact that this was just over like 650 is pretty wild because like you know, that never happens with me. But I think because I was blocking it, it just allowed me to use a little bit less yarn. It's also quite a fine yarn as well, so I think that kind of like really worked in my favor. But yeah, this is the final finished cardigan, and as I've mentioned, if you would like to make your own Wafflin On cardigan, I have a video pattern which I will link in the description, so if you would like to grab it, you can do so. But yeah, that's the end of this vlog. Thanks so much for hanging out with me whilst I crocheted my very first piece of 2025. I can't believe that we are like towards the end of January and I finished my first cardigan. That's pretty wild. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a little like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the cardigan. And obviously if you enjoy crochet content like vlogs and tutorials, day in the lives, that sort of thing, feel free to give me a little subscribe. I would love to have you here. And whilst you're here, you may as well check out some of my previous videos. I would love to stay connected with you guys. I am most active on TikTok and on here, so feel free to give me a little follow on TikTok and on Instagram. My ats are down below, but you can find me at Not Half Bad Crochet. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll hopefully see you on the next video.